What's up, guys? Coach Vassar. Thank you for joining me with OTF Audio Daily Beats. Appreciate you tuning in, listen to me talk about these workouts, ramble in my nonsense about them. As always, any feedback, let me know. If you find value, give me that support. Appreciate you all who have been. It means a lot to me. Anyways, we're going to talk about Tuesday, February 11th. This will also repeat on February the 26th. On the 2G, it's going to be an endurance on the treads, power on the rowers, endurance on the weight floor, and it is a switch template. In the 3G, it is a regular 3G. We'll talk about the 2G, key concepts, and then go over the 3G. So for the treadmills, we're going to see practice pacing for long endurance efforts. You're on the tread twice. How far can you go in 12 minutes the first time, and then aim for half that distance or more in half the time. This is a great workout to get you thinking about how to train for the next time you do the 12-minute tread benchmark. The rower, you'll find your power in your all-outs immediately following a loaded lower body exercise. And then on the floor, we have supersets. Hit one muscle group, then immediately hit the opposite. For the setup, you will need the benches at incline set in 3, which is like the lowest incline. So just be aware of that. Now, this is a switch template. So if you start on the treadmills, you're gonna do tread, floor, tread, floor. If you start on the floor rowers, you'll do the floor, tread, tread. There's 2.5 minutes to transition the room each time. So definitely be very mindful of that because that will eat up a lot of time if you let people take their time to move the room. So one thing I like to do in switch templates or even in tornadoes is in the lobby, set that expectation of when it's time to move with urgency. You might want to take your time, but the workout will not wait for you. So as we mentioned, the treadmills is endurance. Block 1 is a 12-minute distance challenge. They're going to clear out their screen. They choose their speed. Power walkers, we recommend using a 4% incline to replicate and train for the 1 mile benchmark and the 12-minute tread for distance, and probably also dry try. So have them do at least that 4% incline just so they are accustomed to using that. But what we're looking to do for this is to hold one speed for the first half. So of the 12 minutes, they're going to pick one speed and hold it for 6 minutes. And then at the 6-minute mark, and then at 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, we want them to increase their speed by at least 0.1 or more, even for the power walkers. So the overall feeling, the first half, we want them to start conservative, knowing that they are going to increase. So that first half might feel pretty good, almost, dare I say, easy, because they should be conservative. But then as they start bumping up that speed, the threshold will approach much faster, and they will definitely tire and feel exhausted by the end. So I would have people most likely start at their base or just above it. That way they have room to grow. Now, of course, for the more advanced people, they could probably start with a conservative push and build their way up. But this is not one where we're going to have them go up and down. It's steady, and then it climbs up. At no point should they slow down. If they need to slow down, then that is an opportunity of education, of learning about pacing and making sure that they listen to their body and start lower than what they want to do so they can make it through this workout and feel strong about it. Now, as far as bikes and striders, there's no specific direction for this in the daily beat, but what I would recommend is, pay attention to the RPMs, hold like a very low conservative push gear, so maybe 2 or 3, and then every other minute have them increase 1 gear as they maintain RPMs. That would be a good way to kind of simulate the same idea of, accelerating upwards with the increase of wattage. Now, of course, you could have them increase RPMs every minute too, as another way of doing that. Okay, now once we finish that block, they're gonna go to the weight floor. I'll talk about that in a second. We'll come back to the treads for the second block. This one is 8 minutes and 30 seconds. And it's actually 2 parts. We're gonna start with a 6-minute tread. There's a 1-minute walk recovery, and then a bonus 30-second build. So they'll start with a 30-second base, 30-second push, 30-second all out. Now, the first part of block 2, we're going to use the distance collected from block 1 and aim to get at least half of that doing a half version. So it's a 6-minute tread. The first 3 minutes, they hold one speed. Then at minute 3, 4, and 5, they're going to increase their speeds. And then at minute 6, check their distance. Did they get at least half or more than half of the block 1? Now, if they start with the same speeds and kind of build, they should most likely get it. But key thing to remember is they're coming back to the treads the second time. They're going to be fatigued. It's going to be hard to maintain those speeds. Even though the weight floor stuff that they just did was, upper body focused, at least for the people who start on the treadmills. If they start on the weight floor, they're doing lower body work, then they're hitting this. So it's going to be that much harder for the back half class when it comes to trying to match or get more than half of their distance. The build and the bonus is pretty simple. They start at base, and then power walkers 8% or greater for the push, 1 to 2 over the base for joggers, runners, 3+ gears, and then 30-second all out just to send them off. So let's look at the weight floor side. So the first block, 12 minutes, we're gonna hit a push-pull combo, rest, and then another push-pull combo, rest, and then a core exercise. Now, everything is alternating for anywhere from 12 to 16 reps. So it's really 6 to 8 reps per side. So I would have people start with like a light to moderate weight and then try to go moderate or more the next round. They'll start off with an incline alternating chest press. So with both arms up, lower down, press, other side, press. And then that's paired up with an alternating low row. Start with your arms straight, elbows back down, elbows back down. If anyone has any lower back issues, they could probably do this from a seated position. They could also just do a regular strap low row. And they can even do like a one-arm supported row as another option. In that case, they'll do 6 to 8 on one side, then hit the other side. Then the next back-to-back is going to be chest flies and bicep curls. So shoulders are packed, out to one side, come back up, the other side. Key thing to remember for the chest fly, because the weight is moving away from the body, they need their feet wide to give them a better base of support and more stability. So that way, as the weight goes out, the opposite foot, which is far enough away, will counterbalance them, so that way they don't feel like they're going to fall off the bench. And that's going to be paired up with alternating bicep curls. So start it down, one up, back down, other side, back down. Nice, simple, cliched gym bro movement. You gotta love it. And then you have the high plank alternating crossbody knee drive for 12 to 16 reps. And they'll repeat that entire sequence for 12 minutes. They'll probably get at least 2 rounds in, possibly 3. If anyone's getting more than 4, they're probably not going heavy enough to require that rest. So, and if they're hitting, 12 reps and just stopping, was that 12 reps because they got to the number, or was that because they actually hit that point of fatigue? And if it is the point of fatigue, then they should need to rest. But if they're not, then they probably need to lift heavier or do that higher rep range. So take notice of that, especially knowing that you don't have to be super engaged with the treads the first half of their tread block, and just be mindful of that. Now, the second floor block, I personally would do this over at the rowers, demonstrate at the weight floor so they could grab the stuff they need and then take it over. They're only going to need 1 dumbbell, and it's going to be for lower body work. They're going to be doing a goblet position step out squat. And it is alternating, so 12 total, 6 per side. Dumbbells here, they step out, drop back down. They can do a regular squat as an option. Then they're going to do a 150 all out row. They'll rest. Then they have a forward lunge with rotation, 12 reps. They could do backward lunges as an option, or if they want to go to the floor, they could do like a step up off the seat portion of the bench, since it's going to be inclined up. And that's going to be paired up with that 150 row as well. Now, keep in mind, those squats are going to fatigue the legs, which is going to make it that much harder when it comes to that row to get a true all-out max effort. Like, they're going to be very uncomfortable no matter what, but they're not going to see the standard output because of that pre-fatigue from that lower body. And then their finisher is a choice of either dumbbell exercise or a 30-second all-out. There you go. Now, when we're looking at the 3G, 1 long block for every section of the room. On the tread side, they are going to do block 1 and block 2 kind of combined. So they'll do the 12-minute tread, same thing as before, first half maintain, and then at minute 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, can we add 0.1 or more? So, up to 0.6 on that increase, if not greater. And then we'll take a 1-minute walk recovery, and then they're going to hit that bonus of base push all out. Now, they do want you to clear out the screen and check their distance, but it's not being referenced again. If anything, for people who have that intention of, paying attention to how they perform on the 12-minute tread for distance, it's going to be on Thursday, the 13th. So this is an opportunity to kind of work on strategy and test run how they could do compared to what they've done in the past. And if it works, well, take Wednesday off and then hit it again and do it on Thursday and get a PR. So that's something to kind of plant the seed for members. Other than that, that's simple on the treads. Now on the rowers, same idea. We're going to see a weighted exercise and then a row. Now, it is a little bit different though, compared to the row block in the 2G. We're going to do a med ball step out squat. They're going to do 12, 200 meter all out. They have 3 rounds of that, but they're going to decrease the distance every round. So 200, 150, and then 100. Okay. Once they're done with that, then they're going to repeat that sequence with an alternating forward lunge with the med ball, no rotation. So just step forward, come back, step forward, come back. Same thing, 2, 150, 100. And then for part 3, they'll do that with the med ball calf raise. So the med ball is just here, up on your tippy toes, back down. If that's easy, you could have people do an overhead position, kind of work on balance and stability, but same thing, 200, 150, 100, rest after each row. If they finish part 3, then they could either do the med ball exercises on repeat, or they could row until the finisher. So, and then on the weight floor, it is block 1 from the 2G, but for 2.5 minutes longer. So you'll have the chest press, the low row, alternating sides, do those 2, then do chest fly, bicep curls, alternating sides, rest, and then that same core movement for that high plank crossbody knee drive. And then the finisher is either chest press, bicep curl, or the core movement. So they get their pick of, upper body push, pull, or abs. There you go. So that's going to be your Tuesday, February 11th, as well as Wednesday, the 26th. Coach you down.